YouTube, how's it going? The Goat House is back with my NFL locks of week 2. Doing this video every single week. If you missed the last episode, what I do here is pick my straight up locks of the week, my picks against the spread of the week, over-unders, and best upsets of the week. I just said week a whole bunch of times, but before we get into my week 2 locks, we do have some extra content available through our Patreon, patreon.com/thegoathouse. Link in the top of the description. You can get bonus NFL videos, bonus videos like bloopers, behind the scenes stuff kind of for our skits that we do. And then you can join our NFL Pick'ems League. Join our Discord chat for if you want more NFL discussions, constant discussions going on in there. Subscriber goal is at 40K by the end of this year. Please help us out if you have not subscribed yet. We'd appreciate you very much if you do. We got you covered with the NFL content every single week. Predictions, score predictions, recaps, power rankings every week here. Click the like button. Check us out on Twitter. Live tweet NFL games. So it's also a must follow there on Twitter. Link in the description for that as well. So my straight up locks. I did 2 this week. I kind of wanted to make it a one. I did 1 last week. Kind of wanted to make it unique. Like there's 1 straight up lock I'm going to pick, but I did 2 this week because the first one just seems a little cheap. Taking the Patriots against the Dolphins. The best team in football versus the worst team in football right now. But there is some people out there, and I don't even think it's the Dolphins fans. You know, they're kind of riding the Patriots lose at Miami train, you know, because it seems to happen quite a bit. The Miracle did it last year. I don't think it happens this year. The Patriots are too good and the Dolphins are too bad. And the Patriots, they got a little bad taste in their mouth after that Miami Miracle, and they want to prove something. So I don't know if they really let up in this game either. I think they'll keep pounding it. So I like the Patriots here. I think they'll run the ball very well in this game. So yeah, Patriots straight up lock. So since that was kind of a cheap one, I picked another one. And this one I think should be a lock as well. I like the Ravens over the Cardinals. The Ravens looked real good last week, but they did play the Dolphins. But I just think this, 2 things. I think this offense will be too much for the Cardinals, but I think their defense too. You know, I think they really can slow them down. A lot of young players on this defense who could, you know, help against this young offense of Arizona with Kyler Murray. So I do like the Ravens. I did consider the Texans against the Jags as well because it's the Texans' home opener. And you know, they're ready to play again after losing that Monday night when they played good enough to win. And the Jags, without Nick Foles, obviously, I consider the Texans straight up. But I think these 2 are more of locks. Let's take a look at some of my spread picks of the week. So I like the Panthers minus 6.5. I've seen this change between 6.5 and 7, so keep an eye on that. 6.5, I feel way more comfortable with 6.5. Not that I wouldn't do it with 7, but way more comfortable at 6.5, even though it's just half a point. But they play tonight, actually. That's coming up tonight, so I'm excited for that. You know, it doesn't really look like the best matchup, but it's a division rival game. I'm just really looking forward to it, you know, watching football, and I really want to see these 2 teams in action again because we don't know the identity of any team. It's only been 1 week. People overreact from 1 week. But in Carolina, prime time, Christian McCaffrey is absolutely going to go off catching the ball out of the backfield and running the ball, obviously. And I think Cam has himself a good game. The defense could step up, too. I expect some turnovers to be forced. But Tampa can score. You know, they can score. The only thing I'm worried about this is like a garbage touchdown to make it a little closer than it actually was. That's really the only thing that I worry about. But I did do my score predictions video yesterday, and so you can take a look at the score I predicted, but I had them covering. I had the Panthers covering this 6.5, and even if it's 7, I had them winning by 11 points. You can check out the rest of the scores on that, and we have a straight-up picks video so that with other Goat House members, so you can kind of get another you know, take on some of the games as well from that. So I like the Panthers minus 6.5. I think they're gonna. Yeah, they were able to score on the Rams. I think they'll be able to bounce back at home here, and I mean they were home last week, but get a good win over Tampa. Next game that I like as a lock right now, another one I would keep an eye on, but this was minus 3. It was Cleveland minus 3, and then Darnold announced out due to an illness, and then Trevor Siemian in, and I saw it instantly move to minus 6. I'm surprised it didn't move to more. You know, the Browns favored by more points. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it went to minus 6. That's where it's at right now. It could continue to go up, but I love this one. This is my favorite one of the week. You know, Trevor Siemian's got to he's not a very good quarterback, and he's kind of got to step in. And they just found out today. It's Thursday. I know they're playing Monday, but you know, it's going to be a tough task for Siemian. There's no reason why the Browns shouldn't win big on this one. So I do like Cleveland minus 6, but keep an eye on that line. See if it switches up a little bit. Some over-unders I like. I like the under on the Bears-Broncos game at 40.5. That's a pretty low over-under, and I still like the under because I think both these offenses can struggle. You look at the Broncos offense, they really struggled against a Raiders defense who is not the Bears defense. The Bears defense is much better. Joe Flacco really struggled, and then Juwan James is supposed to be out. Not supposed to be as serious of a knee injury as they once thought, but you know, he's still going to be out in this game. And then who's coming off that right side? It's Khalil Mack, maybe the best outside linebacker, maybe the best pass rusher in the game. I know they'll try to double him, but I still think he'll have a day. If not, he'll force another pass rusher on the Bears to have a good day like Leonard Floyd. So that makes the Broncos, you know, it's going to be tough for them to score. You could say, well, they have good running back duo. They got pretty good averages last week. Maybe they'll run the ball more. You could be right by saying that they could run it more, but the Bears got a very good run defense. You know, where I think you can beat the Bears, which I think the Broncos are capable of, but I don't know if they execute it that well. I think you can throw the ball deep on the Bears. You know, not like every play or anything, but the Broncos may try to do that. And if I end up being wrong on this, it goes over. I would imagine that the Broncos were open up the playbook, able to throw the ball deep. Looking at the Bears, Trubisky didn't look so hot last week. I still think, he's still trying to get better here, and I think Nagy's trying to get better too, trying to understand his offense. And with Fangio on the other side, he kind of knows this offense. So I don't know if there'll be a whole bunch of scoring on the Bears' end too. I think it'll be a defensive game. I think we'll see some turnovers. I think both defenses can get at least one turnover. So I do like the under at 40.5. Next game is an over. Over 54. It's a lot of points, but I'm going over. The Chiefs and the Raiders. You can check out my score prediction in that last video. I do have them going over, and I just think it's two really good offenses. Yeah, I think the Raiders' offense is good. Great game plan. I think Derek Carr is kind of slowly making his way back. They got a great running back. The Chiefs' defense, I think, will get better as the season goes on. They still need a lot of work. They just switched to a 4-3, and you got a bunch of new players. They're still going to give up yards and points. The only thing I worry about is Mahomes. I think he's got to be. Is he 100%? I mean, he's healthy, right? He's healthy enough to play, but I guess that's something I'd keep an eye on. But I think this game goes over. I think it could be a shootout here, especially being in Oakland too. I think. I think they can put up the points. I trust most people don't really trust the Raiders in this game. I don't think they're going to win the game, but I trust them to score. So that is an over of 54. I actually have them going over 60 points if you saw my score predictions. And then my upsets of the week, looking at underdogs in terms of lines. I mean, these really aren't big upsets in terms of who's playing who. But the Vikings are +3. I have the Vikings winning that game. But I did not have it as one of my spread picks because it is an NFC North rival game. You really never know what's going to happen in those games, but it always seems to be somewhat close. I do like the Vikings in that one. And then the Falcons are underdogs, not by much, against the Eagles, and I do like them in that game. That is a toss-up, though. Could go either way. I think the Falcons can bounce back after their tough loss last week against the Vikings, actually. I think people are kind of overreacting to the Falcons. They look pretty bad, but they started off a little slow. It's just something that's like a week one thing, So I'm not really too worried about the Falcons in terms of, Matt Ryan's play. I am worried about the offensive line, though, but I don't think the Eagles have the Vikings pass rush. The Vikings brought some insane pressure. But like I said in the offseason, the Falcons' offense line is what scares me. But the home opener here, I think it's a shootout. I think the Falcons can win this one. Those are my upsets, but not putting money on those games, obviously. So let me know your guys' thoughts. Let's keep an eye on those lines, see if they switch around a little bit. The Browns one, mainly keep an eye on Mahomes' health. I would be shocked if he didn't play, or if they said he wasn't 100%. He was playing. I think he's good to go, and I think they'll run it up. I think the Raiders can really score too. So we'll keep an eye on that. Again, check out our score predictions, our straight up picks too with the other Goat House members. That's gonna do it for this one though. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week. Goodbye.